everyone, Tim with Collect Jurassic. Very excited to be sharing our first ever 4K hands-on preview of some really cool figures that I just got my hands on. These are the Amber Collection, Tiger Velociraptor from Lost World, and of course the Pteranodon from Jurassic Park III. Got both of these figures in the mail today, and I'm super excited to share them. There's been a lot of buzz around both of these. For various reasons, positive and negative, I think. And we'll definitely cover all that stuff as we go over it. But honestly, now that I have them in hand and out of the box, which I do have them out of the box, I'm very pleased with both of them. And we'll go ahead and take a look at it in this video in 4K. But before we get started, we definitely want to take a look at the boxes because, you know, that's something that I noticed a really cool detail that I actually really wanted to share on screen today that I hadn't noticed before, but maybe some of you out there had noticed. But here's, we got the Tiger Velociraptor. And it doesn't say Tiger, just says Velociraptor, but we all know it as the Tiger Raptor. It's got the Lost World Jurassic Park byline, which is super fun. We also have, you know, the figure in the package, nothing too fancy there. On the back, we have these bios that I always love with Amber Collection. Just makes these this line of collectibles feel a little bit more special. We have a image of the Tiger Raptor. It's super blurry. I don't know if you can tell, but it's like they upscaled an image from like low resolution VHS or something. But I like that it says here, leaping and ready to attack, the Velociraptor is a shrewd and crafty carnivore. While wreaking havoc on Dr. Ian Malcolm and other unwanted visitors to Isla Sorna, the Velociraptor's strength and smarts are no match against a brave and skilled gymnast. I love the shout out to Kelly on there. That's great. Super fun. I always like that part of the movie. I know it gets a lot of hate, but I always thought it was fun. Then, of course, we have the Pteranodon in the box as well. You know, the box itself, across all Amber Collection, you know, the box design is always the same. They don't change the shape or any of the artwork. Really just those listings, the bio. So we have Jurassic Park 3 down here, and then on the back, we're going to have the bio for this. A little bit crisper picture of the Pteranodon from Jurassic Park 3 and that iconic aviary scene. And it says, stumbling into the birdcage presents a new and unforeseen dangers for Dr. Alan Grant after he unwillingly lands on Isla Sorna. Seeming to emerge from out of nowhere, the Pteranodon proves to be a perilous predator both in and out of flight. That's pretty cool. I like that. I like these little kind of buzzy paragraphs they have for both of these. So those are the figures in the box. But I wanted to show that I thought was really cool that I never noticed until today playing with these Amber Collection figures is the spines of them actually have the logos for Lost World and Jurassic Park 3. I mean, how cool is that? And of course, once I figured that out, I realized that they've always been doing that. So this is a Dilophosaurus here from the Jurassic Park Amber Collection. This is a Velociraptor Blue here from Amber Collection. And there you can see we have all the logos set up, which is just awesome. Jurassic Park, Lost World, Jurassic Park 3, Jurassic World. I mean, who knew that they... I guess I never realized. I mean, I remember seeing these logos when we got them, but I didn't realize that they were doing it for every movie. So getting the Lost World and Jurassic Park 3, finally clicked for me. So maybe some of you out there were aware of that. But I was not, so I was happy to see that. Just a nice little touch on the boxes. Again, that, you know, just makes these feel that much more special. But let's go ahead and talk about the figures out of the box. I'm not going to open these on camera. I already opened another version of them for us to talk about. So we'll go ahead and talk about the Tiger Raptor first. Here it is in all of its glory. Now, I did say in the beginning of the video there was a lot of buzz around these figures. You know, not all positive. And I think Tiger Raptor kind of bared the brunt of that. People were pretty disappointed with some of the photos, some of the official photos that we got of it, as well as some of the early leaks. And sort of like how, I don't know, how blown out it was, how the colors were wrong. But getting this thing in hand, you know, I was impressed with it. Before I get too far, I want to call out that clear stand that the figures come with now. It does wonders, like, to display this thing. I never really used the stands before because I thought they were ugly. I know people say, oh, the dinosaurs are peeing. That never really bothered me. I just thought they were kind of ugly. They kind of added too much color to the figure. But now they're nice and neutral. You get the figure on there and it makes them, you know, it just kind of fades away. But the nice thing about these Amber Collection Raptors is they do just stand up pretty well on their own. just because they are weighted right, and they kind of have some oversized feet too. But you know, the Tiger Velociraptor, kind of getting back to the paint scheme in hand, very, very orange, very saturated. I mean, there's definitely a white underbelly to the whole thing, but it's not overbearing. It's not even white. It's like a very light orange. So it gradiates to that, like through the body. It gradiates really well. It's not as sort of harsh as all the pictures would have you believe. And then we have those dark stripes through the body. The head, you know, is definitely a point of contention. There's no getting around the fact that they did a gold eye, which they do that with a lot of the Amber Raptors, when I think the eye in the movie was like green, maybe. I don't know. Someone will have to correct me on it. But other than that, you know, I feel like the early photos didn't really do a good job of showing the dark around the eye, but getting this figure in hand, it looks a lot better. I think it looks more like a Tiger Raptor than we were giving it credit. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's just a subjective opinion, but to me, this thing is looking pretty much like a Tiger Raptor. Obviously, the sculpt is has a couple things that you might want to fix about it to make it perfectly movie accurate, but overall, I'm not like complaining too much. And of course, being an Amber Collection Raptor, it has tons of articulation. The tail obviously has got that bendable ball joint. The legs have all those articulations in the ball joint hip, you know, that moves around. That you can do all kinds of awesome running and crouching poses. All the knees and everything move, the ankles, the ball joints on the feet. Of course, one awesome thing about the Amber Collection is the claws that are actually articulated. You can literally make them go up and down. And the arms are the same: shoulders, elbows, wrists, all that has a ton of articulation. Then the neck has the articulation, both at the base of the body and the base of the head. A couple joints of articulation, in addition to jaw articulation on top and bottom, so you can open like just one part of the head, or you can open the bottom jaw and not open the top jaw. I've always really liked that about the Amber Collection jaws. I kind of wish the mainline 3.75-inch figures would adopt something like that. I know some of the T-Rexes do, but most of the figures don't. But yeah, I mean, overall, my impressions of this Raptor are great. I think it's better than we were all expecting. So I'm trying to get it back into a pose that'll stand up on camera, feeling the pressure. But I think this is you know, I hesitate to use this term, but I think it's good enough for a Tiger Raptor, considering the constraints of using the existing Amber Collection sculpt that we have had on how many Raptors now? This would be the sixth Raptor that would have this paint application. So they definitely got their use out of it. But with those constraints, I think with the paint job in hand, I'm impressed with this. It does the job for me. Could it be a little better? Sure, it could definitely be a little better in a couple places, but overall, I'm pretty happy with it. I think it looks like a Lost World Raptor for sure. So works for me. I'm gonna go ahead and put it on the stand here so that when I'm talking about the Pteranodon, it doesn't fall over a bunch of times. And let's go ahead and stick that Raptor right there. So that's the Tiger Raptor. The other figure I think is a little bit more exciting because it is not a version of a toy that we've gotten 5 other times, and that's the Amber Collection Pteranodon. This thing is huge. I don't think I'm even going to be able to fit it on camera. So I have the wings kind of displayed up. I'll go ahead and pop this one off the base to talk about it. The base is pretty much essential for displaying it. I mean, you can get creative with, you know, putting it on the ground, but overall you're going to want to keep this display. But here's the Pteranodon, huge wingspan. Again, I can barely fit this in the video. It's big. It's a big figure. I would say it's probably about 14 to 16 inches maybe in total. I'm going to go ahead and get the Raptor out of here so I have more room to talk. I would say that this thing is like, yeah, a good 14 to 16 inches wingspan, which is very impressive. And construction-wise, before we get to articulation, the wings are the part that that really impressed me. So they have this soft rubber right here. It's not like gummy or sticky. It's definitely a high-quality rubber that's very finished. And the photos, I was a little worried. It looked a little crumbly, a little, you know, delicate, but no, it's very, very high quality. It actually goes into the body here. See how it goes into the actual body? So when you're like flapping the wings, like see how they bend there realistically? That's just really cool, and it feels really smooth when you're flapping these wings like that. That does give it a little bit of you know, resistance when you're trying to flap them way up or way down. They're kind of working against the body. The other interesting thing about the wings is that they have a bendable wire here, pretty much like the Raptor tail. So that lets you, you know, you can kind of get creative and do some like, you know, like sort of fancy wing articulation just with the bend. I was a little nervous to do this because I thought it was going to be hard to get it back to going straight, but honestly the wires are like just malleable enough that they don't go crazy wonky when you mess with them, and then they kind of go back to being straight, you know, without too much effort. I think I just did it right there on camera pretty easily. But a lot of people have asked if this figure can go into sort of a walking pose, which I'll get to that because there is a lot of articulation and I can show that off. But yeah, the wings are just sort of an impressive feat on this one, the way that they connect to the body, the way that they feel, and the way that they, you know, sort of bend. They also have some kind of brushed paint effect on here that's really nice too, that you don't see on very many figures in the Mattel line. It's almost hand painted. Looks really nice. Let's talk about articulation. Of course, I went over the wings and all that. The wings also have a little hand that you can rotate. It's got a rotating joint, and it also has a like a up and down cuff, so you can make it do a couple different things, which is a lot of detail. I mean, I don't know how much when you're posing your Pteranodon it should be doing those kinds of different moves. I never thought about it, but the options here, the feet have a ton of articulation too. They have, they're rotating at the base of the body. They also have a like sort of, I would call it a knee joint that rotates and goes up and down. Same thing with the feet. And there's lots of detail on the feet too. That looks really nice. So you can kind of do like, you know, grabbing, you know, picking up Eric Kirby and taking them through the air. If you want, you can kind of have it doing like a lunging pose with that. I'm not going to do it on camera because I want to pose this a different way. Another thing is the articulation in the midpoint of the body. If you can see, you can actually make it do a couple different poses with the midpoint of the body, which is pretty cool. I mean, look at that. That again, like sort of like the hand articulation. It's like, was that even necessary? I don't know if I miss it, but here it is, and it's cool. Getting to the exciting part, which is the head, has the neck articulation, the base of the head. It's not quite a ball joint. It's sort of like a rotating up and down joint. And then the head on the actual neck just kind of rotates. And then the face itself, you have a beak that opens up nice and wide, really wide actually. You got the teeth in there and all that, all the Jurassic Pteranodons always have teeth. So nothing ball joint about that articulation, but you can still do a lot with that limited articulation. You can do sort of a lot of different looking down, looking up, all that stuff. And the paint on this thing, you know, is fantastic. I'd say this is the closest to movie accurate we've gotten on a paint, on a Amber Collection paint job since Blue. I mean, Blue is one of my favorite Amber Collection figures, and this one definitely nails the movie paint job. It's just so accurate. So one thing a lot of people have asked about is, and something I was curious about when I saw this was all these bendable wings and stuff. Can you make this figure walk? It's kind of hard to do it, but you can definitely, you know, get crafty with the articulation. The wings only bend down so much because of that way they're connected to the body. And then you sort of have to take the joint here and sort of bend it all the way back up. And it really doesn't want to bend like you think it would. There's some resistance there. So, I mean, that's about as, oh, gotta put his head up, I guess. Like that's about as as walking as you're going to get it. I didn't do a great job with the back legs. Don't judge my action figure posing skills. I swear they're legit. But that's about as walking as you can get it. I mean, you can try to bend this down and bend this like sort of how you want it to look, but it kind of just goes back because of that resistance with the rubber and the wings. So it looks pretty close. It's definitely better than I was hoping. I guess I expected that it was going to not be able to do it at all. So the fact that you can even sort of pose it is exciting. And maybe if I worked on this every day, I could get it to warm up and bend a little bit. But as it is, I guess I can kind of bend the other part of the wings and make it kind of do something like that. But you really want it to like go like this. And the body just wants to, there's just so much resistance below that rubber, but still cool that that's an option. And of course, easy enough to bend everything back without kind of making the figure look wonky and, you know, not the same as it was. There it is back with a straight wingspan. Go ahead and pose those legs back the way I had them. So a lot of fun with this figure. This one's great. I was going to say if they end up repainting this one 5 times, you know, I won't be terribly disappointed because it's such a cool figure, but let's hope that we don't get that many versions of the Pteranodon, because it really, truly, they can't be repainting this thing for Jurassic World. It's got a totally different head, so they'd have to at least revisit that. But the Pteranodon is definitely a great addition to the Amber Collection, and honestly, the Tiger Raptor, you know, isn't too bad either. I mean, it's definitely another Raptor, so there's no getting around that. But overall, I'm very happy with this wave. I'm happy that it's going to be available pretty widely at Target, and you can grab it on online stores right now too. I have Amber Collection ordering links on collectjurassic.com if you are interested on where to grab these. But I think that's all I got for this hands-on review. I hope you enjoyed this kind of extended format. It was a blast showing these off. But until next time, I'm Tim with Collect Jurassic, and thanks for watching.